adventure. Dino Dex!
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Dino Dan Dino Profiles, and today we have let's just say, at the very least, a interesting species to get introduced into the Dino Kids franchise. If you've ever checked the Dino Dan Dino Cam, which is where we are starting with this creature, or well, these two creatures, which I don't usually do two creatures in an episode, though this time I definitely say it's warranted, since again these guys are a really weird case. But yeah, these creatures never appeared in the show, and if they did, they probably appeared in one of the few off zoo or petting zoo episodes, and were not really important, since again they're not actual prehistoric animals, which again a little bit of a spoiler. But anyways, if you scroll down to, at the least as of now, the last pack of the Dino Dan Dino Cam, you will find Diverse Dinosaurs 4. Keyword diverse dinosaurs. Two creatures we have are Toy Nanotyrannus and Toy Zool, which again you could argue are just toys, so they don't really count. And then we have Bear and Caribou. Man, oh man, is this just questionable. I understand why this pack is the cheapest, but realistically this pack should have just been like 99 cents or just a straight up $1. I feel like that would have made way more sense for what we're getting in this pack. And also, if they really wanted to make a pack and needed two more filler creatures, why not use something else? I just don't understand why they use these ones. Anyways, here's a closer look at their icons. We have the bear, which is clearly a short-faced bear. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then we have just caribou. Yeah, makes no sense. Starting off, why didn't they introduce a prehistoric bear and a prehistoric kind of deer or caribou or something like that? We could have gotten like Archidus and maybe Megalosaurus if they really wanted to make new models. But seeing that these are not new models, which we'll get to that in a second, they clearly didn't want to make new models. Anyways, I don't know why they introduced these species when they could have just did Archaeopteryx and Gorgosaurus. And heck, maybe you want to make the argument that they didn't want to do 3 brown creatures in a pack, and maybe they could swap one out for Meganera, because that's also not in the app yet. Or they could even swap it out for, at the time we still did not have Parasaurolophus, and depending if they wanted to save Ankylosaurus and Velociraptor for Dino Dex, they sure still could have worked something out. I don't know. Even they could have just added in the other ones, Ankylosaurus and Velociraptor, and instead of just doing bear and caribou. There's really quite a few species that have not even been introduced. Heck, do a remodel of the Corythosaurus slightly and make it work as a Lambeosaurus. That's another creature that doesn't quite canon, but somewhat is, and I feel like it would have made way more sense to introduce that animal instead of just bear and caribou. But again, I don't know why they didn't just go with Archaeopteryx and Gorgosaurus. Both of them appeared. Archaeopteryx appeared in the series in quite a few episodes, and Gorgosaurus, of course, I already did another profile on this animal, so go check that out. Gorgosaurus appeared in the movie. Anyways, bear and caribou, here's an actual closer look at their model. Again, these are just not Dino Kids designs. They're completely random, and I'm just going to say now where they're from. They're from another AR app called Planet Ice AR, with a bunch of Cenozoic animals, none of them being Dino Kids related. Like, even the Mammoth and Smilodon in the app are not the Dino Kids variants of the animals. Neither are these guys. And something also interesting is that the bear is actually named Archidus, which is an actual type of prehistoric bear, but for some reason in the actual dinosaur-themed app, or at least prehistoric creature-themed app, they actually decided just to refer to it as a regular bear for no reason. I don't really understand why they really did that for the bear. And caribou never really fit. And I understand why they didn't really, because if I remember, Planet Ice AR mostly has just a few modern animals, plus a few prehistoric ones, and most of those were already added. Most of those creatures were already in Dino Dan Dino Cam, and I don't understand why they couldn't just, okay, maybe they could have did, since I mentioned they maybe wanted to not do like 3 brown creatures in the same pack. Bear and caribou are already brown, so I guess that already breaks it, but they really wanted to just have regular Zool, regular Nanotyrannus, Archidus, and then last creature can really be Meganera if they wanted to do a flyer. It's kind of like a yellowy green. They could do Archaeopteryx, they could do Gorgosaurus, or the best choice I think would just be taking Parasaurolophus. honestly, we have a yellow and blue creature, a green creature, a brown creature, and a mammal. I feel like that would have been made a better diverse dinosaurs pack, but I probably will do like make a concept for the Dino Day Dino Camp, reshuffling packs, and also just generally fixing things up a little bit. But as of now, I still don't understand why these creatures were featured. Yeah, this is probably the most random Dino Day and Dino Profiles video I've done since, again, these creatures barely count as canon, but they are. Technically, Dino Day and Dino Camp is not canon at all, but it has a lot of like actual official creatures. So I don't understand why these guys were ones that were added, especially since there's quite a few creatures that are from the actual series, or at least adjacent to the series that would have fit in way better and honestly would have kind of needed to be added in. But instead, we get bear and caribou. Honestly, not gonna lie, kind of hope these creatures get somewhat cut or replaced in update. Maybe just replace caribou with Elasmotherium and bear with the dire wolf from Dino Dex. Whatever they like to do, I don't know. Either way, these creatures were kind of weird. Hope you enjoyed this kind of rant, I guess, but it is also a Dino Day Profiles video. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you guys definitely would recommend to go check out a more regular Dino Day and Dino Profile vid if you'd like to see something a little bit more normal. And again, if there's any species you'd like to that you would like to suggest for a future episode, please comment down below. I feel like, I don't know why I feel like I have to mention this, but specifically has to be from the Dino Kids franchise, since these are Dino Day and Dino Profiles. But yeah, I also kind of want to mention I might be avoiding like the really important creatures like T-Rex and creatures that I need to do updates on. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer, since again, I think I'll probably wait until most of the marketing switches over to Dino Dex, since it's mostly still Dino Dana, and I don't want those episodes to get very outdated pretty quickly, because again, they'll be centered around Dino Dana when Dino Dex stuff will be coming out. Probably whenever Dino Dex Season 2 comes out, hopefully they'll switch their marketing by then, and it'll be a little bit better of a time for me to actually do do more profiles on the more important creatures. Though maybe I'll do a few like Corythosaurus, for example, Edmontosaurus, Euoplocephalus. Maybe I'll do a few of those ones I'll do profiles on, since it doesn't seem like those will be coming back, or at least if they do, we probably have quite a bit of time before they do, and I think I can justify doing profiles on those creatures. Though, again, just hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!